Wayne, I'd like to talk a little bit about the end of last season first. I've just read some programme notes from towards the end of that season. You were talking about the journey that you'd been on. Could you just tell us a little bit about that?
Gosh, I mean, that's a big topic. So, I mean, look, the journey in terms of me personally with the club is a much bigger story. You know, I started off here as a 15-year-old, as a stick boy for the club. I left Telford 20 odd years ago and ended up in the US. But the club as a journey over the last couple of years has been pretty dramatic. You know, we knew that we had to do something impactful. We knew that we had to do something that would have that would create something really quickly, because we needed to really establish the team as a major force in hockey in the UK and as in sport and put a brand out there. And so that's really what we've done, is strive to put a big brand out there, mainstream the sport so that it had recognition across the country. And that's been, I suppose, the most exciting part of the journey for me, is that we've taken this team that I worked for as a 15-year-old and that was, fun and exciting, and I had a great time with it. But now we've taken it to this brand that's international. We've got international partnerships, we've got fan club branches in Australia and in the US, as well as in the UK. And so that's kind of exciting for me to see that journey evolve.
Does the success on the ice make that international recognition a lot easier to attain?
Yeah. I mean, look, part of that was that one of the reasons we had to make such a big impact so quickly was because we knew that if we were going to have a brand that was accessible to everybody internationally, we knew that we really needed to have a great product. Because the truth is, nobody wants to come and watch a team that's losing all the time. Look, I think everyone accepts that your team's never going to win all the time. And look, here we were at the end of the playoffs, sitting there, in Coventry going, dude, seriously, how did we lose? I mean, we've been great all season. How did we lose? But the reality of it is, it's sport, and anything can happen on any given day. And so you have to be aware that you're going to lose sometimes, and it's always going to be at those times when you least expect it. And it's the beauty of the FA Cup, right? I mean, anybody can win, and that's what the playoffs are for hockey. It is the FA Cup all in one weekend where anybody can win, and I think that was. The exciting part of the league is that it can happen, you can lose. But for the rest of the season, where it's based on the league, well, then it really is about the best team winning at the end of the league, because it is about consistent results. So it was really exciting for us to put together a team that was dominant throughout every competition, that had got some great players with a great coach, so that we could produce a team that we could put out to the marketplace and say, look, we win. We don't win all the time, but we win a good portion of the time, and it's a great game of hockey. And in doing that, we knew that it would force the rest of the teams in the league to improve their game. We knew that they'd have to work harder, play harder, try harder. We knew that when they came to play us in Telford, that they would be working a lot harder than they would if they were playing another team, because it becomes everybody's cup final. And that was what we wanted for our fans, was that it was always going to be a cup final weekend, because everybody wants to beat Telford. And that was the exciting part. So from the brand perspective, we wanted it to be that everyone wanted to beat us, and that's who we are now, is everybody wants to take our scalp.
We've spoken to head coach Tom Watkins, and he briefly mentioned that some of the other teams perhaps wanted Telford to fail a little bit on the ice last season. Does that make the success and the victories all the more sweeter?
Look, I think it does and it doesn't. I think part of it for me is that I enjoy the process of winning. So for me, all I could think of when we stood on the ice at the end of last season and we'd won the league, all I could think of was, okay, well, what's next? Like that was all that was going through my head. So I enjoyed the process of winning. I enjoy getting to that point. Look, it's always a little disappointing when other teams don't have the ability to look at a great team that's been built and say, geez, they've done a good job, nice, well done. If they all said that, it wouldn't be any fun. I like having the team that's hated. It's fine by me. I have no issues with that at all. We've worked hard, our players have worked hard, our coaching staff have worked hard, our off-ice team have worked really hard. We have the biggest team in the country, in terms of press and in terms of marketing and in terms of the brand. And it's because everybody in this team works hard. And I think that, for me, I kind of enjoy that. So it definitely makes that bit more enjoyable. But I think it always is the mentality winners that you just want to know what's next.
Let's move on to next season now. Has it been a busy summer for you?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I don't think there's any difference between the season and the off season. It doesn't. It all sort of morphs into one. It's a 12-month thing. I mean, because it's a business, we're running a business, and so there's always a myriad of things that you're working on. So it's been a busy summer, but no different than it was the rest of the year. There's always something to do. But a lot of it is the preparation side of it. I mean, the summer, there's just different things to do. That's I suppose, the difference between the summer and the rest of the year is that there's a completely different set of things to do.
What sort of owner are you, Wayne? Are you someone who's very hands-on? Are you expecting the most success that you can have this year? Or do you leave a lot of the sort of on-ice stuff to Tom, at least?
You're probably better off asking Tom. I mean, look, one thing I will say is I never go in the locker room during a game. Never. I never have, I never will. I've never, texted Tom during a game and said, what's going on? That's not my style. We have conversations. If I think the team didn't play well, sure, we'll have a conversation. But really, I'm more interested in what can we do to support you with this? Did something not work right? I'm interested in from an organisational standpoint. I'm not that player that's going to go into the locker room screaming afterwards if we don't win. I'll go into the locker room occasionally and congratulate the guys and say, nice job. But I look, the truth is that people like Tom Watkins have forgotten more about hockey than I'll ever know. So there's no point in me pretending, even though I have a history in hockey. I was a terrible player, shockingly bad player. But there's no point in me pretending that I know the sport inside out. I mean, look, that's why we have the staff. That's why, because they know what they're doing. So I tend to be a pretty hands-off one in terms of the hockey. I let them decide on the contracts. I let them decide on the players. I don't tell them, hey, I think that's a player you should get. They'll ask me from a commercial standpoint, what do I think? But I never get involved in the team decisions. I stick with the off-ice stuff.
Does the little boy inside you, the boy who was a puck boy here at Telford, is he still as excited for the start of the new season as he ever was?
Yeah, but I think it's worse now. Back then it was very, okay, well, have I got the sticks right? Have I got enough pucks? Is the kit ready? It was all that kind of anticipation. Now it's much more, I have all of those questions in my head because I'm wondering, but I'm thinking about it from the entire team perspective. And then on top of that, I've got the fan side of me that goes, oh my gosh, I can't wait. This is killing me. Why? Let's just start already. Let's just go. So it's a little worse now, the excitement and anticipation.
And just as a side note, Wayne, if my memory serves me well enough, you're a Liverpool fan.
Yeah, big die-hard Liverpool fan. Never miss a home game.
Would you take a Tigers League victory or a Liverpool Premier League title?
What a brutal question. Right now, I don't know, because the truth is Liverpool are having we've had a good start, albeit an accidental good start. Bournemouth wasn't exactly the best performance of the season, although we managed to pull away a 1-0 win. But that's too hard to answer because I never miss a Liverpool game. I fly back for every home game. We've got a box at Anfield. I never miss a home game. I am a die-hard Liverpool fan. So, and the Tigers, honestly, they pretty much look after themselves. The chances. I'm waffling now. I have no answer to that one. I really am. I'm just vacillating. I have no answer to that one.